Hello everyone, I'm Oath. I live in the United States and I would like to read this article that I just got from my American friend. Is interesting. I think it is about archaeology or about ancient place. Okay, we'll see what it's gonna be. And I think I will find new vocabularies on this article as well. Let's get started. LiDAR scans reveal Maya were far bigger and more complex than thought. This is the picture of the temples at Tikal rise above the forest canopy. Okay, the picture is from Shutterstock. This is nice, ancient, right? Forest Guatemala from above. The vastness of the Guatemalan jungle stretches to the horizon in an unbroken swath of dense greenery. On the ground, the forest blends into a blur of foliage. The only sounds are the clamor of cicadas and howler monkeys. But to step through the undergrowth in the northern Guatemalan's lowlands is to walk the buried remnants of the ancient Maya civilization. The jungle hides fields, roads, canals, and even whole settlements, and the civilizations got a whole lot bigger. Thousands of previously hidden Thousands of previously hidden structures were recently uncovered in Central America thanks to a powerful technology known as LIDAR. And now, a new estimate of the Maya population based on those surveys suggests as many as 11 million people once lived throughout the regions. The LIDAR analysis also showed that Maya cities and surrounding settlements sprawled for miles around city centers, connected by a web of roads and dense grids of farm fields. First published earlier this year, scientists report that a LIDAR survey on unprecedented size uncovered over 60,000 new structures across more than 800 square miles in the patent regions of northern Guatemala. Organized by Cultural Heritage Group PACUNAM, okay, and comprising numerous individual researchers and dig sites. The scans show a society of impressive scale and surprising heterogeneity. Oh wow, this is very hard word. Anyway, from a slow flying airplane above, millions of laser beams rain through the canopy. When they bounce back, the line process reveal the contours of the ground below, often down to a resolution of just a few feet. The technique lays bare the outlines of structures below, making it possible to map the lands of the Maya like never before. This fresh perspective is painting a picture of a complex culture with a high degree of societal organizations and providing archaeologists with detailed information about where to dig that lays out a roadmap for years of future exploration. Seeing the world anew, for researchers like Ithaca College archaeologist and scientific co-author Thomas Garrison, the scans are revolutionizing the way research is conducted in the jungle. Before LiDAR, archaeologists and their teams would methodically crisscross the uneven terrain, mapping out features of interest and making occasional exploratory digs. It was slow, demanding work. Garrison spent the spring recuperating from a hip transplant necessitated by years of field work. Decades of work in the regions had picked out a number of large cities and settlements scattered throughout the regions, but they missed far more than they found. Now in camp, Garrison can pull up the LiDAR maps on his laptop and fly over a virtual representations of the surrounding landscape with a flick of his mouse. Structures dot the ground in every direction. The majority of them are known to him even after a decade of work at his dig site. Okay, this is what it looks on the computer laptop. More interesting. What is say a newly documented site to the north of Tycho illustrates the range of features uncovered by LiDAR as well as the complexity of interpreting them. The elongated building at top right is part of a so-called E-groove complex and may predate 500 BCE. Across the valley, the last Acropolis is likely 1,000 years younger. Though it may cover earlier constructions, its broad access ramp overlaps an earlier causeway that runs between two eroded hilltop platforms. At the top and bottom of the image, small houses and sunken garden enclosure cover the hillsides. Okay, I found it is interesting even I don't quite understand the vocabulary as it relates to archaeology, the old thing that recovered by archaeologists. Okay. In some areas, near major cities like Tikal, population density slightly lost to hundreds of people per square mile. Over 1,000 years ago, this remote jungle would have felt downright suburban. In certain parts of these areas, every little lice and hemlock in the landscape has a family living on it, extended for miles and outside of places like Tikal. Garrison says, when you step out of your house in the morning, you look out, you're seeing all of your neighbors right there. Everyone's right on top of each other. Okay. This is make me think about the historical show on TV once. People live underground, but it's not doesn't have any houses on the top of them. Just they live underground. But here is like I can see the condominium underground. It's pushing estimates of the Maya population to over 10 million people at its classic period height between 600 and 800 AD. However, not all researchers agree that we can reliably gauge at the sizes of ancient populations. But numbers aside, it's clear that the Maya dominated this landscape during their heyday. Okay, heyday. Engineering projects. In addition to the thousands of housing platforms where that I can't read this word has once stood, the scans also reveal vast networks of roads as well as over 100 square miles of fields hacked into hillsides as terraces or erected in the middle of swamps and irrigated by a complex canal system. New and exciting defensive features emerged from the scans too. The results were published Thursday in Science. Examples of fields, roads, and defensive fortifications had been found before, but because of p-hole nature of most digs, it wasn't known whether such structures were unique. The LiDAR scans reveal that examples of ecosystems engineering and construction are widespread throughout Maya territory, something that hints at society that's more organized and hierarchical. Oh my gosh. Okay, I skipped this word. I can't read it. Than previously thought. I try to think about the word that I learned in my art class when I learned hierarchy. The word hierarchy, but this is it not. Okay. Defensive features, ways. All of these things has to have been built in a coordinated way, says Marcelo Canato, the director of the Middle American Research Institute at Tulane University and co-author of the study. So you start to have to contemplate the idea that there is a regional logic behind things, as much as there is a local logic behind it. The sheer number of people living in and around cities is another indicator that Maya life was ordered to some degree, according to Garrison. In general, it looks like, at least in the central and eastern parts of the Pattern Interclassic period, the settlement is so dense that this must have been an area where everyone knew exactly what their place was. What lands were theirs, he says. Okay. I would like to be there. I like it. A view of Tikal contrasted with the city as seen through radar scans. Okay. It's not smooth. It's kind of look like pyramid, tiny pyramid. It did look like that everywhere in the Maya territory, though. The scans also show a high degree of variation between different regions. Some are dominated by field, while others are mostly urban. Some have a high concentrations of defensive features, but some have none at all. People clusters in some areas and spread out across others. Okay, I can think of Badland. When I look at this picture, I think about Badland National Park in South Dakota. I already been there. Why is it? There were urban areas, there were rural areas, there were areas in between, there were empty areas. It just looks and reads like the landscape of a complex society. Kanuta says, like any map that you see of any modern nations or any populated ancient context or modern context, you're going to have places where people congregate and people lie more closely together and are more dense and present where they don't. Those areas of population density don't always map onto the areas that researchers had assumed were most important based on hieroglyphic texts. Garrison says this opens up a significant number of areas for reinterpretation. Some areas, for example, could have been a kind of breadbasket for the regions, producing food for nearby cities, and settlements were there, but enough field to support and the number of people living there. Others may have produced specialized crops for trade with distant kingdoms. Maya militarization. I gotta say Maya civilization. Militarization. Maybe talk about military. I guess. The scan hint at totally new aspects of Maya society as well, near to Garrison's dig size of decade. So near, in fact, that he'd walk by it without realizing what was there. The LiDAR picked out a curious collection of structures and walls. Though excavations have just begun, at the site. To Garrison's practice eye, its function is clear. It was a force trade. A force trade. Is that the same as Ford, right? I went to many Ford in the United States. It's military based on the sea. Okay. His name is La Cernavilla, and the collections of buildings includes a moat, right? I think about the word moat, a moat, okay. Large walled temple and palace set atop an imposing ridge line. A nearby watchtower was part of a network that spreads throughout the Maya lowlands, ready to warn of impending attack. It's the first time archaeologists have found Maya structures built especially for warfare, and it implies an unexpected level of military engineering. Yay, it's about military. It's amazing, it's so new. This is the kind of thing that no one ever suspected to show up, says Michelle Cole, a Yale University archaeologist and Maya scholar who's not involved with the team. It's a major discovery. Garrison will be coming back to the site for years to plumb its secrets, as will other team members and their respective dig sites. The later scans, which comprise just a seventh of the area the researcher hoped to eventually cover, have forever changed the practice of archaeology in Central America. It's quietly revolutionary too, for the way in which it brought together many disparate projects in Central America, Garrison says, and he credits PACUNAM, should I read Pacunam, with fostering a sense of cooperation among the researchers. The foundations are the ones that really coordinated this collaboration of all these authors on the article in the way that archaeologists don't usually collaborate, he says. That was a critical thing here, was getting these different projects to collaborate in order to reveal broader patterns too often. Archaeologists rarely just focus on the science they're working at. I would like to go to Maya in Guatemala, but I don't think they open for public yet because this is just the research. The article is on 2018, but I'm not sure this is the current event. I would like to read this for sure again about where they live and at the place that I thought about the underground village. Why is this? It's okay. I think I don't need to read again here. Okay, thank you everyone. You just stop by and listening to me, to my reading. Bye. สวัสดีค่ะ